Hey everyone, I want to talk about a specific video that caught my attention this week. It's a YouTube short from Lakepointe Church titled The Command in Romans 13 That Lawless Nations Break. The speaker delivered a fiery argument echoing rhetoric from a recent Stephen Miller speech, claiming that righteous government must be a terror to bad conduct.
Defeat the dark. We will prevail over the forces of wickedness.
That actually a righteous government exists to be a terror to those who do wrong.
He used Romans 13 to suggest that governing authorities are meant to create a society where people are terrified of doing wrong things.
Local command. If you do wrong, be afraid.
Yeah.
The civil magistrate, the governing authority, in part exists to create a society in which people are terrified of doing wrong things.
Now, as somebody raised in a conservative home, the interpretation struck a nerve. When a call for biblical order turns into a demand for fear, we need to pause and ask, are we truly reading the Bible, or are we simply reading our own politics into it? Look, I appreciate the attempt to unpack why many on the right use Romans 13 as a shield for political leaders. But this video's core premise, that we must be afraid and submit because the government is an avenger, is dangerously one-sided. It leans too heavily on obedience without acknowledging the limit. To understand why, we must examine the original text. The Greek word Paul uses for submit in Romans 13 is hypotásso. Hypotásso is not a military command for blind, silent obedience. It conveys the idea of voluntary cooperation for the sake of order. It means organizing oneself under a system to prevent chaos, not endorsing tyranny. Paul wrote this under Nero, a literal tyrant. Paul wasn't giving Nero a moral pass. He was trying to preserve the early church's integrity. Because here is the ultimate limit. When rulers contradict God's law, believers must resist. As the apostle declared in Acts 5:29, we must obey God rather than man. Authority is legitimate only when it serves good. When it promotes injustice, it forfeits its legitimacy. This video's focus on terror to bad conduct misses the call to love and protect those in need. When you read Romans 13 in its entirety, the message is actually a threefold command. It demands much more than fear. Submit for the sake of order. That's the righteous government part. Let love fulfill the law. You cannot enact cruelty in the name of order and claim you are fulfilling the law of Christ. And wake up and live righteously, for it's a call for moral awakening for the believer. The video claims this terror